Now let's talk about the image button. Image button is a variation of the button control. Instead of creating its own UI as normal button, it makes a specified image as a button. Okay, this is slight difference in the way how it behaves in compared with the ASP button control. Okay, so it means that image button control doesn't have its own UI. Whatever image you will specify, it will make that image as a button and it will act accordingly. So the how-to of this image button is how to specify image as a button and fire server-side event. Okay, let's see here. Here we have now I'm again copying pasting the code to save some time. So let's see, here I have a button image button control, and notice that its image URL is .NET-logo.gif. And this .NET-logo.gif is in my root folder, and its border width is 1. Alternate text is go to .NET-Funda.com, and on click event we are specifying go to .NET-Funda as a server-side method. Now let's go ahead and copy paste the go to .NET-Funda server-side method as well into the code behind. So here is my code behind go to .NET-Funda. Now remember that if it was on click, then it was the event argument was simple event ERGS and E, but when it is an image button, then the event argument will be image click event arguments. Okay, the second parameter will be not event arguments, but it will be image click event arguments. And then under this method, whatever we want to perform, we can perform it. So here we are doing response.redirect and specifying the URL where it has to redirect, and then true, so that the response will get end here. Now let's see this. Let us run this page, and you can see that okay, there is some problem here. I think closing form tag was missing. Okay, so this image has become acting like a button. When I will click this image, then our server side method go to .NET-Funda will fire, and it will basically redirect to .NET-Funda.com website. So let us see, it is redirecting to .NET-Funda.com website. Fine. Now let's move on to the next how-to. The next how-to is how to fire a JavaScript function on click of ASP image button. Okay, it is similar to the other normal button control, okay, where you have to specify on client click. So let's see that. Instead of specifying on click event, we can specify on client click alert me, and then return, and I'm going to declare one JavaScript function here. A script type is equal to text JavaScript function alert and return false. In this JavaScript function you can write anything you want. Okay, there is no limitation. So now let's see. Now when I will run this page, what will happen is that because on client click we have a specified JavaScript function, so when I will click this particular image, then this alert me JavaScript function will fire and it will give me the alert hi. Okay, so this is the way to basically fire a JavaScript function on click of the image button. Now let us see how to apply CSS style from the server side to ASP image button control. It is similar to all other controls like button or label control or even text box control, but let's see, let me show you how to do that. So here we are going to apply the CSS style. Okay, so let's go ahead and to the code behind, and in the page load event we will access this image button control using its ID. Its ID is imgdnf. So imgdnf dot border color, I am saying system dot colored system.drawing.color.red and imgdnf.border style, I'll say border style dotted, and then imgdnf.border width, I'll say unit.pixel, and then 15 pixel or maybe 5 pixel I can say. Okay, now what will happen is that when this page will run, this image will be applied with these many CSS styles: border color, border style, and width. Let me refresh this page, and now you can see that border color is red, border style is dotted, and border width is 15 pixel. Now the next how to is related with image. ASP image control is used to display an image on the page. Okay, so how to specify the alternate text of the image button so that if image is not available, the text displays. Okay, it's very simple. You will have to basically use the alternate text property and set the text that you want to display in case image is not available. So let me copy paste the code again. Here is my code, and in this what I'm going to do is that in the first ASP image control we are displaying our image URL is itfunda.gif, and in the second ASP image control our URL is itfunda1.gif. Notice here is that we do not have itfunda1.gif, but we have itfunda.gif. It means that first image control will display the image properly, but second will not. When the image will not get displayed because of unavailability of the image on the server, then this alternate text will display, because that's what I have set into the alternate text property of the ASP image control. Okay, so let's see. You can see that first image is displaying because itfunda.gif is there in my directory, but second image is not getting displayed because itfunda1.gif is not there. That's why in place of second image this alternate text is displaying, that is itfunda.com logo. Now the next how to is how to fire JavaScript function on click of the image. Okay, it is very similar to the way we had done for other controls. Let me show you that. So this is my image, and I'm going to copy the JavaScript code as well here. Now let me format this out, and here what we have is that we have an image control. On click of the image control, now notice here that there is no on click event here. Okay, because we are not talking about server side clicking event, we are just talking about JavaScript click. So instead of using on client click, that is not available here, we can directly write on click. So on click we can specify the JavaScript function, and we can define the JavaScript function, and whatever we want to write into the JavaScript function we can write it out, and that JavaScript function will fire. Let me run this page again. So this is my image. When I will click it, image was clicked, alert message is coming from the JavaScript function. The next how to will talk about how to apply CSS style to the image. So let me apply some CSS style for this particular image, and the ID of this image is img1. So I will go ahead and go back, and simply I will just copy paste this ID. So now what we are doing is that we are trying to apply the border color, border style, and border width of this particular image 1 img1. So when I will browse this page, what will happen is that all the CSS style that I have applied through the server side in the page load event gets applied on this particular image. You can notice here that border color, border style, and width is coming. Now in case I just need to display the image, should I use ASP image control or HTML img tag? In which scenario ASP image control should be used to display the image? This is very important point. Generally, a lot of people simply use ASP image control, but the problem with ASP image control is that because it is a server side control, so whenever you are writing ASP image control, it gets processed on the server. But if you write img src or img HTML tag, because it is client side, so there is no need of processing on the server. So let me show you one by one. This is the HTML img image tag. This is the HTML img tag, and then we are also copying and pasting this ASP image. Okay, now first let us run this page and see what is happening here. Now you can see that, okay, here we do not have IIT Funda 1.jf, so I just renamed the file name. Now here you can see that both img HTML img tag or ASP image is giving me the same result, but in case of the second code, it means that ASP image control, this particular code is getting processed on the server side, and then it is being converted into the normal HTML img tag. See here, this is the first one that we had written, and this is the second one. Now in case you need to specify the image URL from the code behind, or your image URL is dynamic, that is coming from the database or some or based on some processing, then you can use ASP image control, because you have ability to access the image URL from the code behind, like this. And now I can change to .NET logo.gif. So now what will happen? Now this ASP image control will not display itfunda.gif, but it will display .NETfunda.com logo. See here. So the point here that I wanted to make here is that in case your image URL is coming from the server or dynamically being generated, then you can use ASP image control. But if you already know the URL of the image and it is a static, then you should always use HTML img tag, because it is much faster. It doesn't get processed on the server. Okay, now next we are going to learn about hyperlink. ASP hyperlink control allows us to write anchor tag on the page that can be programmatically manipulated. Okay, let us see this. Let me copy paste this code again, and here is my code. Oops. Okay, and here what we have is that in the first hyperlink control we have specified navigate URL is equal to .NETfunda.com, and in case of second one we are navigating to the default.aspx page. We can also change the URL to whatever you want. For example, we are changing to post to another page result.aspx page. Now what will happen is that when we will refresh this page, I think there is some reference in the code behind, so I'm going to remove this. When I'll refresh this page, what will happen is that it will give us two hyperlink control. You can see that these are two hyperlink control. When I'll click on the first link, it will go to the .NETfunda.com. When I click on the second link, it will go to the post to another result.aspx page. You can see here, post to another result.aspx page. So it is as good as keeping a normal HTML anchor tag on the page. But again, the same thing applies. If you have to if your navigate URL is coming dynamically or coming based on certain conditions, then you can use ASP hyperlink control. If your URL to redirect is static, then you can use simple anchor tags. Now how to decide whether I should use HTML anchor tag or ASP hyperlink control on my page? As I just now covered, that if your navigate URL is a static URL, then you can use a simple anchor tag like this. Go to default.aspx page, and if your URL is dynamic, then you can use ASP hyperlink control. So now, how to specify an image as hyperlink in ASP.NET or HTML? In order to specify an image as hyperlink in ASP.NET or HTML, what we can do is that we can use, first I'm talking about the ASP.NET, so we can use the image URL property, okay, of the hyperlink control. So here what I have done is that we have specified image URL property, and we have specified the URL of the image that I want to display as a hyperlink. As a hyperlink means when I will click that, then it will redirect to .NET.com. Let us see. You can see here is that, let me remove the earlier code. Now this image is acting as a hyperlink. When I will click this image, then it will go to the .NET.com. Okay, because I have a specified image URL of the ASP hyperlink control, and I have a specified navigate URL to http www.netfunda.com. Okay, so this is the way to specify an image as a hyperlink in ASP.NET. Now to do that into the in the HTML, what we can do is that we can simply write the image tag as a child element of the anchor tag. So let me show you this. Here this is my anchor tag, and under that anchor tag, instead of specifying the text, we have specified img tag, and we are again specifying the src attribute as the image URL. So what it will do, it will again behave similarly. It will again make this .NET.com logo as a hyperlink. When I will click this, then it will move to our, sorry, it is default.aspx is the URL. Let me just change this to .NET.com, and it will, now when I will refresh this page, when I will click the second image, it will again go to the .NET.com website. Now how to remove the border that by default comes when an image is specified as a hyperlink? You must have noticed here that when we were displaying those images as a hyperlink, then by default this image border is coming. Okay, so in order to remove these borders, what we can do is that we can specify a style and border is 0 pixel. Now what will happen? You can notice that the second image is not coming with the border. Okay, it is simply just displaying the image. So you can specify the style attribute and specify border as 0 pixels, so that will remove the border from the image. Now next how to remove the border that by default comes when sorry, this is the typo, when an image is specified as a hyperlink using hyperlink control. So in order to do that, what we can do is that we can use this kind of code. Now here notice that I have used ASP hyperlink control, and instead of specifying image URL, we have specified a child element of this particular hyperlink as a img tag and a specified border as 0 pixel. Okay, and that will basically remove the border from the image. Now you may say that, why to do that? Why don't we just navigate? We can say image URL to .NET.Funda.logo.gif, but in this case what will happen is the border will come, and there is no way where we can specify that border style equal to 0 for this particular image. That's why we have removed this image URL from the ASP hyperlink control, and we had kept this img HTML img tag into the as a child control of this hyperlink